start the webinar. Okay, so welcome everybody to this National Geographic Learning webinar. And in today's model lesson for teachers of English to young learners, you'll be learning teaching tips and ideas through taking part in activities, because we believe that the best way to learn something is by experiencing it. Excuse me. So my name is Will Lasher. I'm the teacher trainer Asia for National Geographic Learning. I'm originally from the UK and I now live in Singapore. I've been working in English language teaching in Asia since 2001, so it'll be 20 years this year. I can't believe that. As always, I'm going to start with a quick poll to find out who we have here today. So I'm just going to launch that up on the screen. So if you could just click, okay, which of these different segments do you teach? You can click as many as you like. This is just so I get a rough idea of the audience today. Okay, if you can't see the poll or if it's not working for you, okay, you can just type into the chat box if you like. Just going to give you a few more seconds. Okay, I think that is enough time. So let's have a look at the results. So you should be able to see these now. Okay, so we've got 60% of you, okay, are teaching young learners and teens, and about a third of you, 34%, teaching very young learners. We also have some university and adult teachers here, and a few of you who are not teachers. So this is good because the program we're looking at today is for young learners. Yeah, so I can see that the majority of you are actually teaching young learners at the moment. If you're not teaching young learners, I'm sure the ideas and the concepts we're talking about today could also be applied to any age, really. So yeah, I hope there's something here for you as well. Okay, thank you for sharing your experience with me there. Okay, so the program we're looking at today is called Reach Higher. And this is a program that focuses on academic language, literacy and content, as you can see on your screen there. This is a 6-level series for primary students from about a CEFA A1 to B2 level. This is a special program because it uses a CBI, a content-based instruction approach of using content to teach the language. It's a very global program that has a lot of cross-curricular materials. And this program is designed for a lot of classroom hours. So this program supports up to 15 hours a week. So it's not really designed for one lesson per week. If you want a course to study several hours every day that will improve all areas of English, and also students will learn a lot of cross-curricular content, then this is exactly the program that you want. Today's lesson is from Reach Higher 1A. So each level is broken into 2 books. So there's 12 books in total. This is from the first one, 1A. So this is for A1 level primary students, and we would expect them to be maybe 6 or 7 years old. So today I'm going to ask you to imagine that you are 6 or 7 years old. I'm going to be using the classroom presentation tool for a lot of today's lesson. And in case you're new, haven't been with us before, we call this the CPT, and it is a digital resource that has all of the student book, the workbook content. It also has all of the audio, the video, the games, all of the media, all of the interactive activities, and the answer keys all in one place. So it's got everything the teacher needs to deliver a fantastic lesson. Okay, so let's go over and have a look at the CPT. I'm just going to do a new share. And we're going to do a, let me just press the wrong button there. We're going to do a new share. And go over to our CPT. Okay, here we go. So we're looking at something on the screen here. I'd like you to type into the chat box for me. What can you see here? Okay, we've got a shark, a whale, a fish. Oh, someone's putting kelp. Okay, very good. Yeah, so we've got a shark. We've got some fish here. And I was expecting you to say seaweed, but someone got it straight away. Okay, yeah, seagrass, seaweed. Actually, yeah, this is kelp. That's right. And we can see the fish here in and around the kelp. Why do fish like to live near kelp, do you think, or seaweed, we could call it? Why do they like to live near this kelp? Okay, Unju says to hide. Yanran says to hide. That's right. So for food, that's right. It's a habitat, exactly. Okay, yeah, so there's a few reasons. It's a food source and also to hide, so it's a type of protection as well, right? Where do you think this photo was taken? Can anyone have a guess for me? Where do we think this photo might have been taken? Annie says at an aquarium. Few people saying under the sea, in the ocean, California. That's a very specific guess. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, we're going to zoom out, and you're right. It is taken in California, Kristen, and it's taken in an aquarium in California. Amazing. So it looks like it's under the sea, but actually, it's taken at this famous Monterey Bay Aquarium, which has over 2 million visitors every year and has over 350,000 marine animals living there. Sounds like a wonderful place. I would like to visit one day. Okay, so let's have a look. So each unit in Reach Higher, it revolves around what we call the big question. So this is a kind of fascinating question to get the students interested in the unit. And the question that we're looking at today is, when is something alive? So let's see if we can explore this a little bit. So let me ask you a question. First of all, look at there's a girl here, okay? So I'm going to ask you, is the girl alive? So into the chat box, yes or no, is the girl alive? John says yes. Keiko says yes. Okay, lots of yeses, definitely. Yeah, I hope so. Okay, so yes, the little girl is alive. Next question for you. How do you know? How do you know this little girl is alive? She's interacting. She can move, right? She can move. Very good. Okay, so she's moving. Her arms are up. Okay, very nice. So we've got here, she's moving. Okay, perfect. Let's have a look at something else. So we've got here, we've got a shark. Okay, so is the shark alive? Okay, yes. Can the shark move? Okay, yes, the shark can move. Is there anything else that the shark can do that shows us it's alive? What else can it do? So it can move, it can swim, right, there we go. Okay, so swim is also a type of movement. Okay, is there anything else? Okay, oh, interesting, gills, right? Kristen has talked about gills, right? So for the girl, we can say that the girl breathes air. Very nice. Okay, so the little girl breathes air. And how about the shark? So does the shark breathe in the same way that we breathe? Okay, so it doesn't, does it? So yeah, a shark has gills. Okay, Jennifer says a shark has gills. So whereas we have lungs, okay, a shark does not. A shark doesn't have lungs. A shark has gills and it gets its oxygen from the water. Okay, so it doesn't breathe air, but it does need oxygen. Okay, so we could say something that's similar about the little girl and the shark. Okay, they can both move. The little girl breathes, the shark doesn't. The shark uses its gills to get oxygen, but they both need oxygen to survive, okay? They both need oxygen. Okay, perfect. Let's have a quick look at the kelp, right? So how about the kelp? Is the kelp alive? The kelp, or the seaweed, is another word for that. So the kelp is alive as well. And we said earlier that the little girl and the shark, they both move. So how about the kelp? Can the kelp move? Okay, Keiko says no. I mean, when you look in the sea, the kelp does move. So why does it move? Right. Okay. So it moves because of the water, because of the action of the water. That's right. Okay. So it cannot move by itself, but it does move. Okay. But it cannot move. It cannot swim, for example. Someone put something interesting in there. Maria says it can't move, but it can grow. Okay. That's perfect. So how about the shark? So the kelp can grow. Okay. How about the shark? Can the shark grow? And can the little girl grow? Right. Okay. So, okay, what we're doing here by discussing, okay, the different types of living things we can see here, we went from the first of all, we just had the little girl can move, okay, and we've now got a couple more. We've now got breathe, okay, or use oxygen, and we've got grow, okay. So we can see that we're expanding on our definition of what it means to be alive. Okay, by the way, you said that the kelp can grow. Interesting fact here that kelp, under the right conditions, can grow up to, well, maybe you can have a guess. How much do you think it can grow per day? Kelp like this, how many centimeters do you think it might be able to grow? Wow, that's a lot. Someone's put in here 3 foot, okay, 100 centimeters. So, well, the information I've got says it's not quite that much, but it is very impressive. It can grow up to 45 centimeters a day, which is really a lot, isn't it? It's a bit like bamboo. It can grow very, very quickly. So this sea kelp can grow up to 45 centimeters a day, which I think is amazing. Okay, let's have a look at the next thing we're going to do. So I want to build a little bit of background knowledge here. So we're going to make ourselves a little T chart up on the screen here. Okay, let me just get my pen, make sure it's working. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 questions here. What do living things do? And over here, we're going to put what do living things need? Okay, so I'm just going to make, sorry, something's happened here. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to make a kind of little T chart, okay, up on the board here. Having a few problems. There we go, that would do. Okay, and I'm going to ask you a question. So from the discussion that we just had, maybe you can give me a few ideas, right? So on the left, we've got what do living things do? Okay, so can you remember any of those things we talked about? And then I'll write them on the board here. So what do living things do? So we're looking for some verbs here. Okay, so we've got move. We've got breathe. Okay, interesting. We've got somebody has put in there respire. Okay, so this is a word which we might not go into straight away with 6-year-olds, but yeah, definitely respire. Okay, almost the same as breathing, right? Okay, sleep. Okay, what do living things do? Okay, sleep. Okay, this one maybe we'd have to explain. So how about the kelp or a tree? Does a tree sleep? So this one, maybe we can define a little bit more. So maybe we can say for, okay, animals, right? Okay, so animals, okay, sleep, maybe plants don't, right? So we could expand a little bit. That's good, that's some nice ideas. Okay, how about on the right here? So what do living things need? Okay, let's see if we can get that in there. What do they need? So food, water, air. Okay, perfect. So food, water, air. Okay, next to air, we could put in here as well. Okay, oxygen. For food, we could also put here nutrition. Great. So these are probably words, again, that for 6-year-olds, okay, we might not go into these words. But yeah, so we could try and keep it simple. Okay, food, water, air. Okay, very nice. Okay, so here we're just organizing a little bit and sharing the ideas that we've already discussed earlier. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me ask you another couple of questions, right? So let's see if we can delve a bit more into our understanding here. So let me ask you first question. So how about a tree? Can you tell me, is a tree alive? Okay, good. And when we talk about a tree being alive, what different parts of the tree do you know? You can tell me what parts of the tree are alive. Okay, the trunk, good. The roots, yes. The branches and the leaves. Okay, right. So all different parts, right? If we talk about an apple tree, okay, if we have an apple on a tree, okay, is that apple alive? Yes. Okay, very good. Right. Now, in my hand here, I have an apple, okay, in my hand. How about this apple? Is this apple alive? Okay, John says no. Okay, so it's interesting. So why not? Why is this apple not alive anymore? So it was alive on the tree and now it's not alive. So can anyone tell me why? They can't grow up anymore. Okay, Keiko, that's a good point. It has no roots. Okay, it will erode. Okay, right. So there's nothing sustaining it anymore. The tree is not giving it any more energy, right? It's not connected to the source of life. That's very interesting. But there is something inside the apple, isn't there? If I was going to cut this apple in half, we can see something inside it, something black, right? Okay, so there is a seed. So how about the seed? I don't have one here, but you know that they're in there. How about the seed? Is the seed alive? Okay, Francis says yes. Okay, so why is the seed alive? Okay, because it can grow, right? So it's interesting, isn't it? So the apple tree is alive, the tree apple on the tree is alive. This apple is not alive, but inside the seed, this is something that's alive because it can grow, right? It can grow and it can produce a new apple tree. So it's something very interesting. We can go into more detail with this. Here I have two leaves, okay? And if I show you this one, it's all a bit brown, okay? You know, if I ask you, is this alive, this leaf, you know, what do you think about that one? Okay, no, it's not alive, right? But if I show you this one that's nice and green, okay, nice and fresh, how about that one? Is this one alive? Okay, yes. So it's not always clear, is it? I mean, actually, this leaf, I don't know. If I put this leaf into some water, into some soil, I don't know what plant this is. I don't know if this one will grow. But some leaves do have the ability, you put them in water and they will grow a root. So it's when we're talking about this question of living and non-living, it's not as simple, okay, as we first imagine. And I think it's a very interesting area. And I think one that young students will be interested in. Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to move on and we're going to have a look at this activity here, which is called Share What You Know. And this is a nice activity for the classroom. We're going to try and do it online, okay, but it's really going to work better this one in person. So what we're going to do, we're going to ask our students to think of something that is alive. We're going to ask them to act out how it moves, and the rest of us are going to guess, okay? What we can also do, a nice idea, is before they do it, while they're thinking, you can actually get them to draw a picture, okay? Draw a picture of what they're going to act out, and then they can have it face down. And when people guess, okay, then when someone guesses the right one, they can turn over the picture and they can show that they've guessed the right thing, okay? So this is quite a nice way of doing it. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to think of something that is alive, and I'm going to act it out for you. And I just want you to guess in the chat box, okay, what you think what this thing is, okay? So here we go. I'm going to start acting it out. It's not a fish. It's not a seal. Okay, someone's got it. Nicole's got it. Okay, well done, Nicole. It's a snake. Okay, well done. I think it must have been the tongue that gave it away. Okay, so it's not a shark, it is a snake. Okay, perfect. All right, and now I've done that, I'm going to tell you something about the snake, right? So I'm going to tell you that a snake can slither. Okay, a snake can slither, but it can't run. Okay. All right, good. Now I'm going to call on our other teachers that we have here today. I'm going to call on Andrew first. Andrew, are you there? I'd like you to Hi, welcome, Andrew. Okay, we can't hear you on mute, but that's up to you. Okay, so Andrew's gonna, can you act something out for us, Andrew? We're gonna guess what it is. Okay, can anyone guess? Unju says it's a cat. Is that right, Andrew? Is it a cat? Oh, and he's held up a picture as well. We can't see the picture. I think he's holding up a picture of a cat, okay, to prove that he was right. Okay, well done. Okay, congratulations. Okay, to whoever got that first, I think it was Unju. Okay, well done, Unju. There's the cat. Okay, wonderful. What a lovely cat. Okay, Andrew, can you unmute? Can you tell us something a cat can do?
A cat can sleep, but it can't, I didn't get time to write, fly. It can't fly.
Okay, great. And they do like sleeping. They do a lot of sleeping. That's
There we
absolutely
go.
right. Okay, we're going to try another one. Okay, Kitty. Kitty, are you there as well? Hello.
Okay. Hi. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
My connection is not so good, but yeah, this is me.
Oh, Maria says it's a monkey.
Yes.
That's correct. So it seems that
It's a monkey.
Kitty and Andrew are much better at acting than me. It took ages to get my one. Okay, well done. And Kitty, can you tell us something that a monkey can do?
So what I did is swing. A monkey can swing from tree to tree,
Perfect.
but it cannot swim.
It can't swim. Okay, all right, very good. Okay, thank you very much, Kitty. Okay, that's wonderful. And what we've got there, Kitty and Andrew both showed the pictures. I think this is a nice way of kind of making, not just drawing a picture, but making what we call a 3D graphic organizer. So we can get the students to draw a picture, okay, by folding the paper in half like this. Then we can make like a little book. And then inside we can put sentences, okay, to help us learn about the animals. So I put here, a cat is alive, cats can jump, the cat can run, okay, and then over here, I've got sentences which we'll be looking at later, which relate to the rest of the lesson, okay? People, plants, and animals are alive. So we can actually encourage our students to make these kind of nice, pretty mini books as a kind of graphic organizer. We can keep them in the classroom. We can add to them, okay, as we learn more in the unit. And then if the teacher keeps them all in a box, okay, then we can hand them out to the students, okay, when we've got an extra 5 minutes in the lesson, and the students will be able to use these for kind of revision and recycling activities, and they'll enjoy these looking at the pictures as well. I think this is a nice tip when learning vocabulary. Okay, thank you very much to Kitty and Andrew there for taking part. And I'm just going to show you this. It's something that I think is very nice. Okay, I was just talking about a graphic organizer. We have a lot of these in Reach Higher, and I can click on it here. And this is also a way to organize the students' thoughts. So it says here, when is something alive? And we can make notes on here based on what we were talking about earlier. So we can say something like, or maybe you can give me, I want 3 ideas. Okay, when is something alive? So in the box for me, can you give me 3 ideas and I'll write them here. So when is something alive? So it can be something that we need or something that we can do. Okay, so we're going to put here breathe. Okay, and let's have 2 more. Okay, we're going to put here move. Okay, and 1 more we're going to put here grow. Okay, there we go. So we can start off very simply like this. Okay, the students can have this to build up their picture of what it means to be alive. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, I think something that is interesting to do, to go into a little bit more detail. So if we want with the classes, we could go into a little bit more of a distinction here. So we've got here living, okay, and then I'm going to introduce 2 new categories. Okay, so we've got here non-living, and then we've got 1 more, which is once living. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to categorize a few things, okay, and put them into these different categories, okay? So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you the name of something, okay? So Kitty just acted out a monkey, okay? She did that very nicely. So if I say to you monkey, which category am I going to put that one in? Is it living? Is it non-living? Or is it once living? Okay, so we're going to put monkey over here. Okay, very good. Okay, earlier on we looked at a kelp, okay, sea kelp. Okay, where can I put that? Is it living, is it non-living, or is it once living? Okay, so we're going to put kelp over here. Okay, so I think we've kind of covered this one already, so I think we're fairly familiar with this one. But these two, maybe we need a little bit more explanation as to what they are. Okay, now we talked about an apple earlier on, okay, an apple here, and we said that when it was on the tree, okay, the apple was living. And when we take it off the tree, okay, we said it's not living anymore. Okay, so do you think this is going to be non-living, or do you think it's going to be once living? Okay, and Sari is right, it's going to be once living, right? So I'm going to put that over here. Okay, apple. And so what does it mean when we say once living? What does that actually mean? What's another way of saying that? So we're saying that the apple, it used to, Fong, you're right. So the apple used to be alive, right? It was living, it was alive, but it's not anymore. Okay, exactly, right? Let's have a look at a few more things. How about this? I've got something here. Can you see this? What's this that I've got in my hand? Hope you can see that. Okay, it's a coin. That's right. This is a $1 coin from Singapore. Some of a blueberry. It's not a blueberry. Okay, so this one, a coin. A coin. What's a coin made of? An alloy. Okay, it's made of metal, right? Okay, metal. So this one was metal. Was that living or is that non-living? Okay, it's not made of gold, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to write that here. I'm going to put coin. Okay, so the metal, it's never been alive. Okay, so metal it's an element. Okay, and it's never been alive. So this is what we mean by non-living. Okay, it never has been alive. So we've got coin. Okay, very nice. Let's try a couple more. I've got a couple more things here. Can you see what I've got here in my hand? It's a branch. Yes, a branch, a stick, or a twig. Some good vocabulary coming out here. I will say I picked this up off the ground. I didn't snap it off a tree. Okay, I picked this up from the ground. What can we say? Is this living, non-living, or once living? Okay, it is once living. So I'm going to write over here. What shall I call it? What's the simplest word? Simplest word maybe is a stick. Okay, remember I picked it up off the ground, did not rip that off a living tree. Stick. Okay, let's try another one, which I think might be interesting. Okay, how about this one here? Okay, can you see what I've got in my hand here? Yeah, it's a tea bag. Okay, it's a tea bag. So we've got tea. Okay, and what's the bag made of? What do you think? Yeah, the bag's made of paper. Okay, so what do we think? Where are we going to put the tea bag? Okay, is it living, non-living, or once living? Okay, so we've got a couple of answers here. Most people are saying once living, and I think tea bag, yeah, it's made out of two things. So we've got the tea leaves and we've got the paper, right? And both of those things, so paper is made from, well, what is it made from? You can tell me. So what do we make paper from? Okay, it's made from wood, right? And wood comes from trees. Okay, so in all respects, okay, the tea and the paper that makes the bag, these were both used to be living. So a tea bag we're going to put here under once living. Okay, good. And we could go on. Okay, we could do other things. Here I've got a plastic spoon. Okay, this would be non-living. Okay, but I think we've got the idea. Okay, so we're going to move on, okay, to the next activity. Okay, you're right. Okay, plastic spoon is non-living. Okay, very nice. All right, now what we're going to do next is we're actually going to have a go and we're going to do a little experiment. Okay, so I've got two mystery powders here. I hope you can see them. Can you see that in the bag there? Okay, so we've got a powder. Okay, you can see I can move this around. Okay, and I've got another powder here. This is powder number 2 or powder B. Okay, what color is this one? So powder 2. Okay, it's kind of brown. Okay, beige, yeah, beige, nondescript. How about the first one? What color is this? Kind of yellow, right? Okay, so I've got these 2 powders, and we're going to do an experiment to find out if they are living or if they are non-living, okay? Or even maybe once living. So what are your initial thoughts? What do you think to begin with? How about this yellow one? Do you think this is alive? What do we think? Do you think this might be alive? Perhaps. Teresia says perhaps. Okay, Sari says once living. How about this one here? Do you think this one is alive? Teresia says no. No. Okay, so we're not sure, right? Okay, so let's do an experiment to find out, yeah? So to find out if something's living, we need to add the things that living things need. So we said earlier that living things need to eat, okay? So they need some food, don't they? So I'm going to give them some food. Do you know what this is? It's sugar, right? Okay, so this is some food. Okay, so I'm going to take some food and I'm going to put it into the yellow bag. Okay, you can see if I'm doing that. Okay, and I'm going to take my other bag. Okay, this one, and I'm going to put some food in here, and I'm going to be careful not to spill it all over the floor. Okay, so let's put that in. Okay, there we go. So I put some food, okay, into both my bags. So if these are alive, they need some food. Okay, so let's give that a little mix. Okay, now what else do they need? If they are alive, what else do they need? Okay, they need air and they need water. Okay, so here we go. I have got some water here. Okay, I've got some water and I've got a spoon. That's why I've got a spoon. So let's put some water into bag number 1. Okay, I'm going to try and do this without spilling it everywhere onto my computer, which will be a bit of a disaster. Okay, there we go. Very carefully. Okay, so I've put 2 big spoons of water in there. Okay, I hope you can see that. And some of you said air. Okay, so I'm going to make sure when I close the bag that there is air in the bag. Okay, so there's air in there as well, right? Okay, give that a mix and I'm going to put that down. Okay, let's try the other one. Here we go. So I'm going to take my spoon. 1, 2, and I did it without spilling it everywhere, which is very good. Okay, and I'm going to close that, okay, with some air in the bag. So now in our bags here, okay, our 2 powders, they have everything they need if they are alive, okay, to grow. So we've got food, sugar, we've got water, and we've got air. Okay, there we go, and you can see them both here. Okay, that's how they look at the moment, right? So let's put them down. Okay, and then we'll come back to that in a few minutes and see what has happened. That's right. In Indonesian, air is water. Air means water. That's exactly right. Okay, so we'll come back to the experiment, okay, later on. So most of you said that you think neither of them were living, right? You said once living, we'll find out. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so next thing we're going to do, okay, we're going to have a look at a song. Okay, so what can you see in the picture here? Okay, we're going to do a song. What can we see? Pong says he's looking forward to doing the singing. Okay, perfect. So we can see a boy. And what is he doing? Okay, we've got a boy riding on a bike. Okay, excellent. He's riding or he is cycling. Okay, and it says here the name of this song is I Love My Bike. Okay, do you have a bike? Do any of you like cycling? Do you love your bike? No, no bike. Okay, so I have a bike and my daughter absolutely loves going on the bike. Okay, she likes going on the back. I've got a little seat on the back and she absolutely loves going on the back of the bike. So we're going to sing a song about a bike, okay? But before we do, we're going to do a few activities. So first thing I need to ask you a question. Okay, so we've got a boy. Is the boy living? It is a song. The boy is living. Okay, how about the bike? Is the bike living? No. Okay, so why is the bike not living? It does not breathe. Okay, very nice. Does the bike do anything that living things do? Is there anything the bike can do that a living thing can do? It moves, exactly. So we said that earlier, didn't we? We said that moving, okay, to be living things can move. So the bike can move, but it can't breathe. Okay, so it can do some of the things that living things do, but not all of them. So we can say the bike is definitely non-living. Okay. So let's have a look. There's some words that we need to know, okay, before we do this song, right? So let's have a look up here. These are the words that we need to know, right? So let's click this. What is this word here? Oh, and you can see something moving. There we go. Okay, so this is the grammar we're looking at. So we've got here, I am. Okay, and we've got can. And here we've got the word not. Okay, so let's have a look at this first word here. Okay, so we're going to be looking at this word here. Okay, so let's put it up on the whiteboard. Write it up here. Okay, so I'm going to use a routine, okay, from the teacher's book, okay, to teach us about this very important word in English, right? So let's have a look. So first of all, what we want to do, and what I'd like you to do at home, okay, wherever you are, I'd like you to repeat, okay, what I'm doing. Okay, so first we're going to make sure that we can say this word. Okay, so I want you to repeat after me the pronunciation. So can you say am? Okay, and again, am. And one more time, am. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the two different sounds. Okay, so there are actually two sounds in this word. Okay, the first sound is ah. Okay, can you say that for me? Ah. One more time, ah. And the second sound we have here is mm. Mm. And one more time, mm. So if we put these sounds together, follow after me, please. Ah, mm. Ah, mm. Ah, mm. And when we say them quickly, we get the word am. Okay, so one more time after me, am. Okay, so it sounds a little bit like we're taking a big bite out of the apple. Am. Okay, am. Okay, there we go. So make sure we've got the pronunciation. Okay, next, let's have a look. How do we spell this word? So we looked at the sounds. Okay, we've got ah, mm. Okay, but what about the letters? Okay, how do we spell this? Okay, and we can say that we spell this word A, M. Okay, so maybe you can repeat after me. Sari's written it in. Thank you, Sari. Okay, so we spell this word A, M. Good. And one more time, A, M. Good. Okay, now ready? Let's say the word one more time. Okay, this word is am. Now we're going to use this word in some sentences. Okay, so I'm going to make a sentence about myself. So I am a teacher. And I'm going to do a little action there. Okay, this is me teaching. Okay, I am a teacher. I'm going to make another sentence for you. Okay, I am happy. I am happy. I'm going to make another sentence for you. Okay, I am sad. I am sad. Okay, and one more. Don't know if you can see. Okay, I am hungry. Okay, I am hungry. Okay, right now, okay, I'm going to do the action for you, and I'd like you, if we were in a class, you'd say the sentence, but what we're going to do here is I want you just to write it into the chat box, okay? So the first one, I'm just going to do the action, okay, you're going to say and write into the chat box, okay? So first sentence. Well done, Chia Cheng. I am happy. Okay, excellent. Repeat after me. I am happy. Okay, good. Let's do another one. How about this one? I am hungry. Okay, well done, Unju. I am hungry. Excellent. Okay, and I actually am hungry because I haven't had any breakfast. I am hungry. Okay, well done. And let's try one more. How about this one? Okay, yes, that's right. I am a teacher. Well done. I am a teacher. Although it could be I am writing. That's very good. That's another sentence we can make using am. That's right. Excellent. Okay, one more, the last one. How about this one? Ooh. Okay, there we go. I am sad. That's right. Or another sentence, I am crying. Okay, perfect. So this is the routine, okay, we're going to go through. Okay, first we're going to look at the words, say the words, then we do the pronunciation, the phonics, okay, okay, then we do the spelling, okay, and then we're going to make some sentences, and then we're going to get the students to say the sentences, okay. Now, if we have more time, we would go through the other keywords here, can and not, and we repeat this process, get the students to be saying these as well, but we don't have time to do all of that, so we're not going to. Okay, what we're going to do instead, okay, is we're going to go through and have a look at this song, this lovely song. So let's first of all, we're just going to listen, okay, and I just want you to follow along and read and enjoy the song.
I love my bike.
I can eat and I can drink. I am living. I am healthy. I can think. I am a living thing. My bike cannot eat. My bike cannot play. It's non-living, that's okay. I love it anyway.
Okay, there we go. Do you recognize the song? It's quite a famous tune, isn't it? You can see what it's called down here. This is the tune to Camp Down Races. Okay, right. So we're going to have a little go at the song. And I think as we're doing the song, it's always nice. Children like it, especially at this age, if we put some actions to it. Okay. So we're going to go through and we're going to make some actions. Okay. And then we're all going to sing it together. Okay. Doing the actions. Okay. So the first line we've got here is, I can eat and I can drink. I am living. So for eat, okay, we're going to do this, okay? For eat, we're going to do this. And for drink, with the other hand, we're going to do this. Okay, now for living, I'm going to do my heartbeat, okay? We're going to do the heartbeat like this, okay? Ready? So we'll try this after me. Ready? Okay, so please repeat. I want you to do this as well. Okay, so ready? After 3, 1, 2, 3. I can eat and I can drink. I am living. Okay, we've got the first line. Okay, the second line, we've got I'm healthy, I can think. So for healthy, I want to do this. Okay, and for think, we're going to do this. And for living, we're going to do the same one. Okay, so the second line, I am healthy, I can think. I am a living thing. Okay, so I hope you're following along with me. Okay, the next one, I want to focus, I don't want to do bite, I want to focus on this cannot, okay? Cannot. So for cannot, I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to do the same thing for the next one, okay? Cannot. Okay, now for non-living, okay, we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to do this. And the last one, for love, we're going to make a nice heart with our fingers here, okay? So let's have a quick practice of this one. Ready? Okay, you're going to repeat after me. My bike cannot eat. My bike cannot play. It's non-living, that's okay. I love it anyway. Okay, so now we're going to try and do the whole thing together. Okay, we're going to do the whole song. So I want you at home, I want you to be doing the actions. I want you to sing along. I'm going to do it slowly, okay, so that we can all do it together. Okay, ready? All right, let's try. 1, 2, 3. I can eat and I can drink. I am living. I am healthy. I can think. I am a living thing. My bike cannot eat. My bike cannot play. It's non-living, that's okay. I love it anyway. Okay, so I hope you followed along with me. Okay, I hope you managed to do all the actions. Did you do it? Did you do the actions as well? Yes, okay, well done. Okay, you like the gestures. All right, very nice. Okay, now we did it slowly. Okay, we do it one more time. We'll actually listen to the original song, not my terrible singing. Okay, so let's listen to the real one. Okay, and I want you to listen one more time and do the actions as you listen. Okay.
I love my bike.
I can eat and I can drink. I am living. I am healthy. I can think. I am a living thing. My bike cannot eat. My bike cannot play. It's non-living, that's okay. I love it anyway.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that lovely song. I enjoyed it. It's nice, isn't it? It's really, as you say, it's a nice melody. This Campdown Races, it's a very catchy song. I think students will enjoy that. Okay, if you are finding that a song like this is maybe too difficult for some of your students to sing, what I like to do is I sing it and I highlight some of the words and I just get them to say some of the words. So maybe they just say eat, drink, okay, living, healthy, think. Okay, so I will sing it, okay, and then so I will say I can, and I can, I am, okay, and I'll get them to sing the words like that. Okay, so if you are finding that your students, maybe it's too much to do all of the words, you know, all of the words, you can just get them to do some of them, just focus on some of the words. And students enjoy that because it's kind of, it's this interaction with the teacher. And I find that that can work very well if it's too hard. Okay, now it's time. I want to go back to our experiment, okay? So earlier I showed you powder 1 and powder 2. Okay, so let's have a look how we're getting on. So here we go. Okay, is this number 1 or number 2? Can you remember? Okay, that is number 1. Okay, and what do you think? Have a look at that. What do you think about that? Can you make any conclusions from this? Do you think this is living? It's non-living. Okay, there we go. So we can see not really much has happened in here. In fact, nothing has happened, has it? The water's gone a little bit cloudy, but that's about it. Okay. All right, let's have a look at bag number 2. Okay. Oh, look what has happened here. Okay, can you see that? Has anything happened here? Can you notice anything? Turn it around this way. What can you see in there? Right, it's growing, isn't it? It's definitely growing. There's foam. Okay, you can see bubbles, right? And Aprianus has got it. This in this bag here is yeast. It's baker's yeast. Okay, so what we've got in here, okay, is a single-celled organism that we use for making bread. Okay, and when you put yeast into bread and you put sugar, okay, food, and you put water, the right temperature, what happens is that the yeast, which is like a tiny little animal, a single-celled animal, it actually eats the sugar and it makes 2 things. It makes carbon dioxide, and that's what we can see all the bubbles here. And that's what makes your bread nice and light and soft. Okay, that's what makes cakes nice and light because it expands. This is the carbon dioxide. And it also, yeast actually has another thing that it makes. Does anyone know what the other thing that yeast makes when it eats sugar? So it produces carbon dioxide. What's the other thing it makes? In a drink, maybe. some of you might have tried before. Fizz, well, yeah, the fizz is the carbon dioxide, right? So fizz comes, yeah, it makes alcohol, right? So yeast also makes alcohol in beer. So two things that the yeast can do: it can make carbon dioxide, which makes your bread fluffy and light, and it can make the alcohol in beer. Obviously not good for children, okay, but maybe some people might like to drink that, okay? So it makes two things. So we can see this one is definitely alive, isn't it? It's definitely alive, and we can see that has made it's grown a lot, and I can feel actually when I hold it, it's warm, it's very warm. Okay, so that is our little experiment there. Okay, so we are going to go back. What the way that I would do to finish this lesson, okay, I'd go back into here at the end of the lesson, and I'd get our graphic organizer up here again, and we'd summarize, okay, what things that we've learned today. Okay, so let's just quickly do that. Let's see if we can have a few things, right? So, I mean, there's a couple of ways we could do this. We could do what do living things do? What do living things need? Or maybe we could do it as living, okay, non-living, and once living. Okay, so we could categorize this information, and we can give the students kind of the main points so that they can remember what they've studied in the lesson. Okay, so Armina's given me some ideas. Okay, so we could say, yeah, for living, okay, we could put up here, let's just share a couple of your ideas. Okay, so we can have living. Okay, it grows. Okay, it breathes. Okay, now maybe if we do here non-living. Okay, can you give me any ideas for non-living? What can we put for non-living here? Okay, so we can say the opposite, right? Okay, the opposite, okay, doesn't grow, doesn't breathe. Okay, we could say here never. It's never been alive, right? And the last one for once living. Okay, maybe. So I'm sorry, my writing is not very clear. What can we put under once living? What can we put here? Okay, so we can say used to be living. Okay, good. Any ideas? What else can we put there? Oh, used to be living, used to grow. Can you give me an example of something that was once living? Okay, it died. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we can put here, okay, as an example, we can put a twig. Okay, good. Or we can put an apple. Okay, very nice. We should put an example in here as well. Okay, let's put a tree. And for non-living, we looked at a coin earlier, didn't we? So we can, sorry, it's not very neat because I'm writing with my digital pen and I'm not very good at doing it. But if I was using a whiteboard, it'd be a lot better. There we go. So we've got a nice summary of the lesson. Okay. All right. Now we're running out of time. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm just going to go back into my, my PowerPoint presentation so we can wrap up. Okay, just did the wrong kind of share. So we want this one. There we go. Moving my Zoom window out of the way. Okay. Right, okay, so yeah, just wanted to show you a couple of things, okay, that we've looked at today. So in the teacher's book, okay, I've been using for Reach Higher today, there are lots of these routines. So for example, when I was teaching the word am, okay, then I actually followed this routine here. So these are really nice tips, you know, for young children. They like following routines, and you know, these are very easy to follow, broken down so that teachers can effectively teach the vocabulary. We have a lot of vocabulary routines. Here, it was talking about the graphic organizer that I showed you earlier on. And there are lots of examples of different types of these 3D graphic organizers, which are fun for students to use. I took this here. lots of other nice, useful teaching tips here. I was going to do this, but we didn't have time to do it. This is one way when we're teaching vocabulary, we can check whether students understand it. We can ask them to hold up their fingers. So if they hold up one finger when you show them a word, so let's say we're using the word living, we ask them, okay, if they hold up one finger, it means that they understand the word very well and they can actually use the word in a sentence, or they can explain it to you. If they hold up two fingers, it means that they recognize it. They've seen this word before, but they don't really know how to use it. And if they hold up three fingers, it means that they don't know the word at all. So this is a really nice way of using formative assessment in your lesson, so that the teacher can gauge exactly how much you need to explain the word or how much time you need to spend on it. Okay, so yeah, quick summary about the program we were looking at today. As I told you earlier, it's a 6-level series for primary students from A1 to B2. It uses a content-based language teaching approach. It's designed for up to 15 hours a week in the classroom. And yeah, if you want something that is really going to teach cross-curricular content, okay, as well as improving their English and really focusing on literacy, there's a lot of literacy work in this, and this is the perfect course for you. Here are some of the resources that we have for teachers. You looked at the classroom presentation tool. That was what I was using today. And we also have lots of extra resources, and we have a digital platform for online practice. This is like an online workbook and a learning management system for teachers. Okay, here are some of the resources that we have. Okay, now we will be sending you a follow-up email tomorrow, okay, with links to the recording and the certificate. Okay, so thank you for attending. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for questions in a minute, but before I do, okay, let me just show you what's coming up. So we have plenty of webinars coming up for you, and we've got a couple of interesting ones coming up. So next week, Andrew, who you saw earlier, is going to be giving a best practice webinar. So this is more of the kind of theory and practice, okay, rather than the model lesson that we did today. And Andrew's going to be talking about managing classroom management, how to manage your classes, which is obviously extremely important for all teachers. And we have this wonderful session on the 30th with Dr. Jodie Crandall, who is a very well-known author. She writes several of our programs, and she is going to be talking about how to engage very young and young learners in the classroom. So I hope you can register for a couple of those. If I can ask, I don't know if Andrew, if someone has already put this, can you put the link in the chat box for me? Somebody, so that you can go and register right now. Okay, so hopefully someone's put that in there. Okay, and the last thing I want to say, yeah, I hope that you can go and follow us on Facebook, or you can also find us on WeChat, okay, or on YouTube. And if you like us on Facebook, if you follow us, then you will see all of our posts, you'll see all of our upcoming events, all of our teaching tips, and you make sure that you don't miss anything important that we have for you. Okay, so I think there are a couple of questions here. One of them is, have you been to Indonesia? Yes, Sari, I have been to Indonesia. I like it very much. And I've got another question here. Let me just read it. And this is a question about, do you often bring actions to teens lessons with songs? Or how do you make songs easier to remember the way we do with kids? Teens and adults can be much more reserved and shy. Thank you. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's a good question. To be honest with you, I haven't done a lot of songs with teenagers for precisely that reason, that they can be shy, and I think they're not expecting to do songs. But something with adults, I have done a lot of songs, and what I found is really important, I think would be the same with teenagers. The teacher has to be brave, and the teacher has to really go for it, and you have to enjoy it, and then they will do it. But if you look a bit embarrassed and a bit shy, then they won't want to do it. So as in many things in the classroom, the teacher has to provide the model, and it has to be a confident model that where the students think, oh, it's normal. Look, you know, the teacher's doing it, he's enjoying it, she's enjoying it. No one's embarrassed, so we can do it as well. But if the teacher shows that I don't really want to do this, they're not going to want to do it either. So that would be my tip there. Question here, how do you deal with passive students? I think this might be something that maybe Andrew's going to go into a little bit more under the classroom management. But for students who are passive, I mean, you're always going to get, people have different personalities. I think the best way to deal with passive students is to make the lesson enjoyable and the lesson interesting and the lesson varied, because not everyone is going to want to do everything. Not every child is going to want to stand up and sing, but you will be able to find something that they will want to do. So I think having a big variety of activities is really important. Also, not forcing young children that age. If they really don't want to do something, we can't force them to do it. So if they don't want to do it, don't make a big deal of it. Okay, just say, okay, all right, you don't want to do this one, but the next activity I want you to take part. You know, and maybe giving them a system where maybe you let them have one pass in a lesson. If you have a student who's very passive and they don't want to do things, you can say to them, or you can talk to their parents and say, okay, they don't have to do everything, but they can only say once in the lesson that this is something I don't want to do, and the other things they have to do. So, you know, offering rewards, okay, for when they do something well, offering encouragement. I think that, you know, these are all things that we can do to encourage participation. Just having a look here, being a teacher is synonymous to being an actor, a nurse, a judge, a police officer, being a doctor, and an all-around model. That's a very good point, Francis. I think I agree with you. The teacher certainly has a lot of roles that they have to fulfill. Okay, so I think we're at 11 o'clock. So thank you very much to everyone for attending today. And I hope you've enjoyed the session. And I hope you go and sign up right now to some more of our webinars, because they're all fantastic and you'll enjoy the next one as well, okay, with Andrew. So please come back and join us next time. Yeah, now I can go and have my breakfast. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.